I'm going to show you two different ways to find the slope of the line passing through these 2 points. Starting with the first method, which is going to be, let me put it in black ink, m equals y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And you could also have it as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, doesn't matter. Watch the video included in the section of the worksheet if you want to see both ways written out and on a specific example. I'll go in more details there. But basically, we'll get the same answer. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to label my points. So we're going to put x, y, x, y. So every point is always x and y on the coordinate plane for the x, y axis. And if you forget that, just keep in mind it's alphabetical order. And what we have to do is just put, okay, I'm going to make this my first point. So I'll put 1s here. I'm going to call this my second point, and I'll put 2s here. And that's all the 1s and 2s represent. Point number 1, point number 2. It's really there for organization, so now we know what is going to replace what in this formula. And now I just write down everything. And what I usually recommend is to put your minus signs ahead of time because you have to subtract the y values and the x values. That way, if you do have to deal with negative numbers, you won't make any mistakes and interpret that to be the negative number. Okay, so the minus signs do not count as negatives. So now here, look at y1 is the first y value is 2. The second y value is 4. The first x value is 1. And the second x value is also 1. See, when I simplify this, I'm going to get negative 2 over 0. And notice that we have division by 0, which is actually undefined. You can't divide by 0. So that is undefined. Which means if I were to graph the slope, it would be a vertical line. So let me show you the second method of how to find the slope of this line, and you'll see what I mean by undefined slope. So here's the second method. You're going to put change in y over change in x. And what we do for the change in y is we look at the 2 points for the y values, for the 2 points, and you just ask yourself how far is it from that y value to this y value. So from 2 to 4 is 2 spaces apart. So that'd be my top number is 2. Then for the x values, how far apart are the x values? Well, from 1 to 1 is 0 spaces away. So that would be a 0 for that one. And you can see we get the same result. Again, we're dividing by 0, which means it's undefined. That's the type of slope we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sketch these 2 points so you can see why it's undefined. I do a quick sketch, and the 2 points were 1, 2. So 1, 2 would be here, and then the other one is 1, 4. So 1, 2, right 1 up 2, and then 1, 4 will be right 1 up 4. And you can see that if I draw a line through these 2 points, it's a vertical line. So and the way you look at it, as x is increasing, which is not, we want to know what's happened to the y values. Is it increasing or decreasing? But since our x values are not increasing, it's just in the same spot, we can't tell to get from this point to this point is if it's going up or if it's going down. That's one way to interpret it. But again, there's no, this is what we call an undefined slope here.